We studied this verse yesterday. Prahlad Maharaj is saying that human life is very rare to achieve. So in this life, one should immediately take up to devotional service of the lotus feet of Lord and make his life more meaningful and purposeful, and ultimately return back to Godhead, back home back to Godhead. So before we start, let us pray to Shri Radha Govindaji, the presiding deities at ISKCON Temple, Mangaluru, and also seek the blessings of His Grace, Namnishta Prabhuji, who is the temple president, for his blessings and also guidance in conducting today's class. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ॐ नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णापेष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी। जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So once again, welcome to today's class. We'll continue with Narsimha Avatar. So far we have the fortune of learning 3 avatars before this. And first was Matsya Avatar, second was Kurma Avatar, and fourth was Varaha Avatar. So today we shall continue with our class on Narsimha Avatar. Yesterday we completed at this point, and Prahlad Maharaj is telling his disciples, you can see on the picture on left-hand side, they are seated eagerly. They are his classmates at the Gurukul, and he's telling them that one should continue to worship the lotus feet of Lord, right since from the childhood, not from when one gets old and then retires and then thinks of worshipping Lord. Because this human life is very, very rare. The basic purpose of our life is to attain Supreme Personality of Godhead and render loving devotional service to Him. So yes, somebody would like to read. Please raise your digital hand so that I can request each one of you.
May I do?
Yeah, Mataji, Chanda Mataji first.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please.
The human form of life affords one a chance to return home, back to Godhead. Therefore, every living entity, especially in the human form of all, most engaged in devotional service to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. This devotional service is natural because Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the most beloved, the master of the soul, and the well-wisher of all living beings.
Thank you, Mataji. So the important point is, especially in the human form of life, why other living entities do not have chance of liberation or worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Anyone? Why others don't have a chance? Why human beings only? The soul
As per their karma.
Soul and super soul is present in everyone, or every living entity we have seen in earlier presentations.
As per the karma, Prabhuji, the Sanchit karma, Prarabdha karma. So
Okay.
what we are coming.
Yes, Mataji. Any other person devotee would like to mention?
They have low consciousness level.
Very nice, Mataji. Low consciousness. What do we mean really by low consciousness? Because what are the levels of consciousness? Your answer is perfectly correct, Mataji. Anyway, the 5 levels of consciousness are Annamay, Pranamay, Jnanmay,
Annamaya, Pranamaya, yes, Prabhuji, I
Vijnanmay,
know.
and
Yes,
Anandmay. So
Anandamaya.
consciousness in animals is limited to only Annamay. They are just looking for food only. They have pranamay kosh, but they don't have realization. So then these levels of consciousness, ultimate is the state of bliss. So Anandmay is a state of bliss when one has perfect knowledge of himself and of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is, and then he is blissful state and worships the Lord. Then he is in a blissful state. The second is Vijnanmay. When he knows that I am not body, I am the soul. Then Jnanmay is that there is a mind, there is a soul. There is a mind which is different from a body. And a pranamay consciousness to survive or exist or, to live only. And the anand, annamay is just consciousness for food. Animals do not possess this. They possess one or two only. First, that is annamay or pranamay only. We have got Jnanmay, Vijnanmay as well as Anandmay. So we are only blessed by Lord to be given this form. And it is very, we have just heard that it is very, very rare to get. Anushjan is very, very rare to get. So in this way, we have the chance of getting. We have got, besides body and this is mind, mind and body, soul and super soul, we have got mind and intelligence, which others do not possess. So that is why Prahlad Maharaj is telling these young disciples that because therefore in every living entity, especially in the human form of life, must engage in the devotional service of lotus feet of Lord. Yes, Mataji, next slide.
Prabhuji, I want to say something here.
Yes, Mataji.
So as the material body, which is the Annamaya Kosha, so it's all depend upon the food, the type of food we take. So it also affect our intellect as well. So intellectually, we as a human being, we all have intellectual mind. So that is to be used in a correct path. That is the consciousness of spirituality that comes, and that is internally it is connected to the type of food we consume. So through that also the specific intellect, if we are in sattvic ahara, the intellectual connection with the God will happen, that is smoothly. If we are having tamas food, so we are in the human form, but we are bit away from God. So this also affects the kind of food which we take,
Very,
and at the
very
kind of
good.
development of intellectual that happens due to food.
That is true, Mataji. That is also true. We'll come to it in Division of Faith in chapter 17 when we discuss about the effect of food taken in mode of goodness, effect in mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. So we'll come to it. You have very rightly said that sattvic food, tamasic food, and rajasic food, they have got impact on one's behavior and also attributes. That is, whether we develop divine qualities or we develop demoniac qualities. So that is very important. Yes, Mataji, say next one.
Yes. The human form endeavors merely for sense gratification or material happiness through economic development are not to be performed, for they result only in a loss of time and energy, with no actual profit. If one's endeavors are directed towards Krishna consciousness, one can surely attain the spiritual platform of self-realization. There is no such benefit from engaging oneself in economic development.
So this
So
is
truly said.
this is another beautiful instruction to the disciples when they grow up. What do people in mode of passion do? They work very hard. They try to accumulate many, many, many material things. They want to attain, get more and more money to fulfill those hankering for material articles, and they want to satisfy their senses by possessing them. So what happens? They have to work very, very hard for earning more money, for getting more things. They have to earn more money, for getting more money. They have to work very hard. And the result is, and they think that there is pleasure in things, but this pleasure is never there, because this attainment, the satisfaction or feeling of satisfaction of attaining everything is never there. One who is hankering for something, today he is at 1 million, then tomorrow he would like to have 2 millions. If you have good one car, then he would like to have better model, higher car, a better telephone, a bigger house, and bigger comfort. So this hankering never stops in mode of passion. So such a person does not find, his waste his all time and energy in actually gaining those things which do not give him happiness, basically. So that is why, but if one is working in good mode of goodness and towards Krishna consciousness, he feels such a satisfaction and peace and equanimity that he does not hanker for any bad thing or anything which is material, because he knows that material things are not going to give him everlasting happiness or pleasure. So there is, but this economic development, that means earning more money, there is no such benefit from engaging oneself in economic development. That is what is being taught by Prahlad Maharaj to his sons. Yes, Mataji. Tato yata यतेति कुशलः क्षेमाय भवमाश्रितः शरीरं पौरुषं यावन्न विपद्येत पुष्पकलम. Yes, yes, Mataji, continue.
Prabhuji, the previous slide, by reading that, I remember one story called The King and the Four Wives. Uh, can I say it in very short form?
Yeah, sure.
Or we can...
Yeah.
So the king and the four wives. A king has the his four wives. So the fourth wife he loves the most, and he always try to bring her something gift always. And the third wife, he also loved the third wife and also the second one, but he always ignored the first wife. He never want to see her around. So once the king fallen sick, so he said, I'm going to die. Who is going to accompany me up? So after the death, when my soul will be departed from the earth. So the king called his fourth wife. So he asked, "Can you accompany me when I will die?" So she said, "No, I will not die. I will go to somebody else." So then the third wife, he called the third wife. So he asked her to also, "Can you accompany me?" She also denied, "No, I can come with you till your graveyard. After that, I will marry to somebody else." Then the second wife, she also denied. She also said the same, "No, I can't come with you, but obviously for the rituals, definitely I will come." He did not call the first wife, but she came and she said, very soothing voice, that don't worry, I'll be accompanying you wherever you will go. I'll be there for you. So with this story, we understood that however the materialistic thing we are attached with and we look for our body, the fourth wife is his body. So he was so very much conscious about the body, taking care, doing all kind of perfume, this and that, and doing shringara, all this he used to do. That it was so waste, it is not going to accompany. And the third wife as well. So it is the status. So how much status he gained, how much treasure or how much money he has. Obviously, when he will die, it will go to somebody else. And the third wife is the relative. So to whom it will live with it. They are also not going to accompany. But the first wife is the self, the soul, who is be always with, which he always denied. He did not work upon, and at the end, he understood that I could have taken good care of myself, my soul, and that spiritually I could have grown so well, where the bonding at the end I could have handled so nicely. So this was the story. When I read this, I just clicked in my mind, the king and the four wives.
Thank you, Mataji. The fact remains that material things do not give comfort to the life. They do not go when one passes away. What goes is his good deeds, good intentions. That is the astral body. There is subtle body and gross body. Gross body remains here, but the subtle body carries these impressions to the next form of life. And Lord is so merciful that he fulfills the desire of that person, whatever astral body is carrying or subtle body is carrying with it, that those desires are fulfilled. Whatever form of life is required to fulfill those desires, Lord gives them. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, next one. Endeavors. Channa Mata, you read this one also. This is third slide for you.
This is it. Next,
Endeavors.
this is done.
Done? Okay. So,
This is done. This is done.
okay. Yes, this one.
Therefore, while in material existence, bhava, bhavam
Bhavam
ashritaha,
Ashitaha.
yes, a person fully competent to distinguish wrong from right must endeavor to achieve the highest goal of the life as long as the body is sought and strong and is not embarrassed by jiggling.
Thank you. So the purpose is when we are young, our body is strong, our senses are perfect, our mind and intelligence is active. At that time, we have the power of, the intelligence has the power of discrimination also. We can distinguish between right and wrong also. At that time, that is, we should realize that in material existence, we should not, before we pass on to advanced age, that is dwindling stage, that is the jara and vyadhi, that old age and disease come. Before that, we should take up Lord's service and Lord's devotional service. This is such wise words being spoken by Lord Prahlad. Yes, Riya Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
My dear friends, if you can place your faith in my words, simply by that faith, you can also understand transcendental knowledge, just like me. Although you are small children, similarly, a woman can also understand transcendental knowledge and know what is spirit and what is matter.
So these are instructions to these disciples, small children, that if you have to believe me, we have been talking about Shabnam and that Dhruv Maharaj just now, Prahlad Maharaj before had said Dhruvnam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vishnu, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Archanam, sorry, not Archanam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Vishnu Smaranam. So Vishnu Smaranam, Kirtanam, and Shravanam. So he is emphasizing the role of hearing in this again, that if you hear me and trust what I am telling you. This is transcendental knowledge. This is not material knowledge. So as I have elevated myself by attaining this transcendental knowledge, you can also attain this transcendental knowledge. Yes, Mataji, next one. Riya Mataji, please continue.
Therefore, my dear, I think it's done. The slide is done.
No, this one.
No. Okay. Therefore, my dear young friends born of demons, please ache in such a way that the Supreme Lord, who is beyond the conception of material knowledge, will be satisfied. Give up your demonic nature and ache without enmity or duality. Show mercy to all living entities by enlightening them in devotional service, thus becoming their well-wishers.
Yes. So therefore, my dear friends, born of demons, because of in the Gurukul, all the children were children of demons. So His Supreme Lord is beyond conception of material life or material knowledge. Because there is two kind of knowledge which we are getting in education that we are imparting in our schools these days is just material knowledge, which is just aimed at getting a degree and getting a job. There is nothing spiritual about our education in the present system. So Lord Prahlad Maharaj is giving this knowledge here, that this is spiritual knowledge, and this is the supreme knowledge. And Raj Guhyam, Raj Vidya, Lord has told in Bhagavad Gita that this is transcendental knowledge. He has given this transcendental knowledge to Arjuna also. So same knowledge is being transmitted to these disciples who are children of demon, because they have got demonic characters. They like they possess all kind of demonic qualities. They are not clean. They are not pure. They are violent. They eat meat. intoxication, demons do all these things. So these children also being now at this stage, young stage, being persuaded by Lord Prahlad Maharaj that give up all these attributes and take up the service of Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead. अभी जरा क्लास चल रहा है थोड़ी देर में बात. So material knowledge cannot lead you to knowledge of Supreme Personality God. So he is telling them, show mercy to all living entities by enlightening them in devotional service. That is the role of a spiritual master or guru, one who has attained all knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is supposed to transmit. And in the Varna Ashrama, the Brahmins, they are supposed to do the study of Vedic scriptures and transmit this knowledge for the benefit of human society. So this is the role that these demonic children can play, these children of demons can play for the society and become their well-wisher. Yes, Mataji, next.
Yes. Prahalada Maharaja continued, I received this knowledge from the great saint Narada Muni, who is always engaged in devotional service. This knowledge, which is called Bhagavata Dharma, is fully scientific. It is based on logic and philosophy and is free from all material contamination.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Can somebody tell how did Prahlad Maharaj receive this transcendental knowledge from Narad Muni? We have discussed it yesterday.
Garbha Sanskara.
Yes, Mataji.
When Garbha Sanskara.
Please elaborate.
When Kayadhu was carrying him in the stomach, at that time she was with the Narad Muni, and the Narad Muni, the Siksha and the knowledge what he given to the Kayadhu, it is taken by the Prahlad Maharaj in her stomach itself. So that is how it came to Prahlad Maharaj.
Thank you. So that means even while in the womb of mother, he was able to receive the transcendental knowledge from Narad Muni, which he was giving to Kayadhu, the wife of Hiranyakashipu. So that is called Bhagavata Dharma. Yes, Mataji, have you turned 3 slides? Anybody else would like to read? Yes.
I'll read.
Yeah, please continue.
May I?
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
The real problem of life is the repetition of birth and death, which is like a wheel rolling repeatedly up and down. This wheel, however, completely stops when one is in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, by the transcendental bliss realized from the constant engagement in devotional service, one is completely liberated from material existence. All learned men know this. Therefore, my dear friends, O sons of the Asuras, immediately begin meditating upon and worshipping the Super Soul within everyone's heart. Except from A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada books, Apple books.
Real problem of life is repetition of birth and death, which is like the wheel rolling repeatedly up and down. This wheel, however, completely stops when one is in touch with Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, by the transcendental bliss realized from constant engagement in devotional service, one is extremely liberated from material existence. All learned men know this. Therefore, my dear friends, O sons of the Asuras, immediately begin meditating upon and worshipping the Super Soul within everybody else. It is very clear that Super Soul is present in each and everyone, whether they are sons of, they are godly people or demonic people. So he is giving this knowledge that you can also get liberation at this stage and enjoy the transcendental bliss by hearing. So real problem in life is repetition of birth and death. Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita has a number of places mentioned that one who attains this supreme knowledge does not enter into the cycle of birth and death again. So Tesham Satatiktanam Bastam Pripurpakam and Nashatmatu Vyaso Jnana Dipin Vasvata. And then also many other places he has also mentioned that Punarjamna Bhavati. So he's Prahlad Maharaj is training these boys that you have super soul within you. Believe in that super soul, that is Paramatma form of feature of Bhagwan, which is present in you. And when you worship him, you will get out of this material entanglement and, of course, get liberation by worshipping super soul. Yes, Mataji. Second one.
My friends, son of the Asuras, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in a supersoul feature always exists within the cores of the hearts of all living entities. Indeed, he is the well-wisher and friend of all living entities, and there is no difficulty in worshipping the Lord. Why then should people not engage in his devotional service? Why are they so addicted to unnecessarily producing artificial paraphernalia for sense gratification?
So, in fact, you will remember in Gurukula, the Chanda and Akarma, they were training them in material entanglement, material world affairs. They were training him in economic development, and they were training in the sense gratification methods, and of course, warriorship also. So, the here education is just in contradiction to what was taught to them in Gurukula. And he's telling that the Lord is your well-wisher. Well-wisher, he is present in the heart as your friend, and he is your always looking after your welfare as well as providing you all necessities of life, even without asking. So Krishna is present him. So this spiritual lesson is being given by Prahlad Maharaj to all these children, that, oh my sons of the core of heart, he is the well-wisher of and friend of all living entities, and there is no difficulty in worshipping the Lord. Why then should people not engage in devotional service? Why are they so addicted to the unnecessary producing artificial paraphernalia for sense gratification? In fact, what is the peace formula that Srila Prabhupada has given in the Bhagavad Gita? Does anybody remember?
Bhuktaram yajnatapasam sarvalokamayeshwara.
Yes, Mata Bhukta.
Surdam sarvabhutanam yatva mam shantim richati.
That is one thing. And also another place Prabhupada has mentioned in purport, that what one needs for living peacefully, he needs a small house, a patch of land, and a cow. If one has these three things, then he can live very peacefully. But we are collecting artificial paraphernalia for sense gratification. So many things. We have one thing today, we want another item of comfort, another material. So he says that that all these things are complicating one's or drawing one away from Supreme Personality of Godhead, and one should focus therefore on Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present always within the heart and core of everybody. He is well-wisher. The Lord has, in fact, in Bhagavad Gita, he has mentioned, Samo Aham Sarv Bhuteshu. He is equal to all. He does not envy. He does not differentiate anybody. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayete teshu chapyaham. Those who worship me lovingly, I am friend to them. They are in me and I am in them, and they are friend to me. So this lesson, great lesson, is being given to these children by Prabhuji. Yes, Mataji. Oh.
Narad Muni continued. All the sons of the demons appreciated the transcendental instructions of Prahlad Maharaj and took them very seriously. They rejected the materialistic instructions given by their teachers, Shanda and Amarka.
So this is the again commentary by Narad Muni is continuing, that Prahlad Maharaj, whatever lessons they were being given to disciples, and they were just in contradiction to the materialistic teachings of their gurus. They were sons of Sutrachar, Chanda, and Amarka. So they accepted. You can see here the children are so happy, and they are just chanting and dancing with the Prahlad Maharaj, and they have adopted to the taken up the transcendental knowledge imparted by Prahlad Maharaj, and they are happy. And all the demonic qualities which were taught to them, they are all washed away. And here you can see the same picture again, that Hiranyakashipu is, when he returns for the first time from the Gurukul, he is asking, my dear son, what did you learn? And this was the lesson which we heard, which we read in this few verses, was explained by Prahlad Maharaj, that materialistic way of life is not correct way of life. This is what he's telling. And he gets very annoyed. You can see the facial expression. He's annoyed when he's so much. Yes, Sashmita Mataji now.
Yeah.
Please unmute.
When Sanda and Amarka, the son of Sukra Acharya, observed that all the students, the son of the demons, were becoming advanced in Krishna consciousness because of the association of Prahlad Maharaj, they were afraid. They approached the king of the demon and described the situation as it was. When Hiranyakashipu understood the entire situation, he was extremely angry, so much that decided to kill his son Prahlad. Hiranyakashipu was by nature very cruel, and feeling insulted, he began hissing like a snake trampled upon someone's foot. His son Prahlad was peaceful, mild, and gentle. His senses were under control, and he stood before Hiranyakashipu with folded hands. According to Prahlad, the age and behavior, he was not to be chastised. Ate with a staring crooked eyes, Hiranyakashipu rebuked him with the following harsh words.
Thank you, Mataji. So you can see what is the impact of association, sadhu sangha. The Prahlad Maharaj was elevated soul, and that is children of demons. They were not so elevated. They were just enjoying materialistic education they were going, and also the life, also materialistic life. But their consciousness changed when Prahlad Maharaj came and in contact, and also preached them about the Krishna consciousness. So now the teachers are very much worried because they knew the Hiranyakashipu is going to penalize them for what is happening in the Gurukul, because children are not running the science of sense gratification, economic development, and materialistic mode of life. They are turning spiritual. So both of these people go, they meet the Hiranyakashipu and explain everything what is happening in the Gurukul, because on account of Prahlad Maharaj telling all these things to children, and they have completely transformed. They have also taken to Krishna consciousness. So now, after two-time counseling of teachers and also the gurus and also Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu is now at his wit's end what to do. So he decided to kill him. Just imagine a father wishing to kill his son because he's so spiritually elevated and advanced, and also because he is a Vishnu Bhakt, and Vishnu is the sworn enemy of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was angry with Vishnu. Does anybody remember why he was so much angry with Vishnu?
Because he killed his younger brother Hiranyaks.
That is nice. Thank you, Mataji. So he was such a cruel person that father thinking of killing his own son. But his son was always composed, peaceful. You have seen how he was tortured, crushed under the feet of elephant, thrown from a cliff or hilltop, then also burnt in fire, and then snakes, all poisonous snake around him, lot of torture and beating, all those things. But he always remained composed and always remembered Vishnu. Always he was. So he crooked eyes, Hiranyakashipu rebuked him with the following harsh words. What did he speak? Yes, Sashmita Mataji, please.
Hiranyakashipu said, "O most important, most unintelligent disruptor of the family, O lowest of mankind, you have violated my power to rule you, and therefore you are an obstinate fool. Today I shall send you to the place of Yamraj. My son Prahlad, you rascal, you know that when I am angry, all the planets of these three worlds tremble along with the chief ruler, by whose power has a rascal like you become so impotent that you appear fearless and overstep my power to rule you?
Thank you, Mata. So you can see Hiranyakashipu was very proud of himself. All demons are, like Ravana was concerned, they were very proud of themselves, of their knowledge, of their power, their strength, and their material attainments. And he was, secondly, he was, very sure that nobody can kill him, because Lord Brahma had given so much of benediction and boons to him that nobody can kill you, inside, outside, day, night, animal, human, weapon, or so many things were given to him that he will not die. So he was very confident. And he knew that when even Lord Indra, he ran away because of they were all trembling, and many times there was a fight between the Asuras, and always Asuras had an upper hand. The demigods had to run away, leaving their heavenly planets, and to seek the shelter of Lord Vishnu, who came as different forms of avatars to save the demigods. So he says that you are lowest of mankind because you are born in the family of a demon. You should learn the demon cultures, behavior, and methods of life, rather than you're a fool. I shall kill you and will send you to Yamlok. Then he said that you just do not, you forget that all the rulers of the world, all the demigods, they tremble with fear when I advance towards them. But you are, because of so obstinate and impudent, that you are learning things which are not our traditions as a demon family. So you want to, by this, do you want to overrule my power? And you want to be better than me, then I am the greatest, and still you want to become so impudent that you appear fearless. You are fearless, where the demigods even fear me, and overstep my power to rule you. So you are not listening to me. That means you are disobedient. So what does he say further? Yes, Mataji.
Prahlad Maharaj said, my dear king, the source of my strength of which you are asking is also the source of yours. Indeed, the original source of all kinds of strength is one. He is not only your strength or mine, but the only strength for everyone. Without him, no one can get any strength, whether moving or not moving, superior or inferior. Everyone, including Lord Brahma, is controlled by the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prahlad Maharaj continued, my dear father, please give up your demonic mentality. Do not discriminate in your heart between enemies and friends. Make your mind equiposed toward everyone, except for the uncontrolled and misguided mind. There is no enemy within this world. When one sees everyone on the platform of equality, one then comes to the position of worshipping the Lord perfectly.
Thank you, Mataji. So now Prahlad Maharaj is virtually preaching to his father Hiranyakashipu. He is telling the qualities, divine qualities, or the qualities which a Mahatma should possess. And what are those qualities? A Mahatma is pure, clean, he is non-violent, he is equiposed. That means he is in contrast the opposite circumstances of life, like happiness or sorrow, or loss or gain, or victory or loss, or victory or defeat. So in these conditions, a Mahatma or a person with divine qualities, he remains equiposed. He does not get wavered, or he is not disturbed by them. So Prahlad Maharaj says, the second important point Prahlad Maharaj is explaining, that in fact, Hiranyakashipu had asked, where did you get all this courage and strength and knowledge that you are preaching to me? So Prahlad Maharaj answers that the same God who gave you this strength, he has also given me the same strength. That means he had the firm faith that the Supreme Personality of God had present in the heart as super soul is the guiding force, is the controlling force. But because here the difference between Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu is that Prahlad Maharaj was in a mode of goodness, and Lord was, as a kind father, merciful father, was promoting him to proceed on path of goodness and do good actions or akarmas which do not result into any kind of binding. Whereas Hiranyakashipu was working in the mode of passion and ignorance. He did not want to worship Lord at all. He wanted to have his own, he wanted to consider himself as self-made God. He thought, I am God, so I can do everything. But he did not believe that he is a soul and he is a super soul also. His entire energy and knowledge was resting in the physical body, and his mind was corrupt with pride and the boons of benedictions that he had received from Lord Brahma. So he says that original source of all strength is one, and that is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is not he is not only your strength of mind, but the entire everyone. And without it, no one can get any strength. So whether moving anything. And second, of course, as I told you, the qualities of a Mahatma or a person who is a divine, he who has divine characters. These are described here, that you are having demonic mentality. Do not discriminate in your heart between enemies and friends. That means, like Lord Krishna says, Samoham sarvbhuteshu, na priya na dvesha. Not either he has a hatred for anybody, he is equal to all. So become like that, because a Mahatma should be like that. Make your mind equiposed towards everyone. Be balanced and equal to all, whether he is a friend or enemy. Only uncontrolled and misguided mind think like that there is enemy in the world. Once one who is on the platform of equality, for him, everybody is not seen as a material body, but a spiritual body in whom the super soul is present. So this education is being given to Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu by Prahlad Maharaj. Yes, Swam Prabha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
In former times, there were many fools like you who did not conquer the 6 enemies that steal away the wealth of the body. These fools were very proud, thinking, I have conquered all enemies in all the 10 directions. But if a person is victorious over the 6 enemies and is equiposed toward all living entities, for him there are no enemies. Enemies are merely imagined by one in ignorance. Hiranyakashipu replied, You rascal, you are trying to minimize my value as if you were better than me at controlling the senses. This is over-intelligent. I can therefore understand that you desire to die at my hands, for this kind of nonsensical talk is indulged in by those about to die.
Thank you, Mataji. In former time, there were many fools like you who did not conquer the 6 enemies. What are those 6 enemies being referred to here?
Kam, Krodh, Madh, Lobh, Moh, or Matsarya.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Kam, Krodha, Lobh, Moh, Madh, and Matsar. So the wise people, they were able to conquer over these 6 enemies. They are Shad Vikar, they are also called 6 Vikaras or 6 enemies or 6 Anarthas also they are called. So one who is able to win over these Kam, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madh, Matsar, then one is wealthy, he is healthy mentally as well as physically. But people think that that is their strength, because Hiranyakashipu used to take up all these 6 enemies as their friends, and he was in fact had a lot of opulence in these 6 enemies. He had the degree of these 6 enemies within him were of very great high grade. That is why he is so angry, he is so jealous. He has got a lot of envious. He was angry, he was jealous of Lord Vishnu. And ultimately, that is why he decided to kill. He tells that now since you are over-intelligent, I can therefore understand that you desire to die at my hands. for this kind of nonsensical. For him, the sense was nonsense. That is the characteristic of a demon, because they do not listen to reason, they do not believe in God, they do not believe in good qualities or divine qualities. They have their own set of gods, they have own set of activities, and they always act against the injunctions of scriptures. That is the virtue of, or virtue or vice of, demons. Yes, Mataji, next one.
O most unfortunate Prahlada, you have always described a supreme being other than me, a supreme being who is above everything, who is the controller of everyone, and who is all pervading. But where is he? If he is everywhere, then why is he not present before me in this pillar? Because you are speaking so much nonsense, I shall now sever your head from your body. Now let me see your most worshipable God come to protect you. I want to see it. Being obsessed with anger, Hiranyakashipu, who was very great in bodily strength, thus chastised his exalted devotee son, Prahlada, with harsh words. Cursing him again and again, Hiranyakashipu took up his sword, got up from his royal throne, and with great anger struck his fist against the column. Hare Krishna.
So, Prahlad Maharaj, despite so much of provocation, was very calm and quiet, and he was replying to his father's questions very easily and in a simple manner, and peacefully also, without getting any kind of irritation. You just imagine a child is being threatened by his father that he will kill him. Still, the child is so composed and quiet because he had so much of faith in Lord's protection. And Lord had protected him so many times under so many adverse conditions. So now, when he feels that he is not disturbed even by the threat to be killed, then he asks, now, if you say that God is everywhere, God is giving you strength, and me also the same strength, then show me where is God. So Prahlad Maharaj just says that he is present. Then he asks that Hiranyakashipu asked whether he is present in this pillar. Yes, he says, yes, he is present in the pillar. Now, a person who is envious of God, who has so much of anger in his mind, who is so much greedy, who is so much proud of himself, blind by the false pride, then he just gets up, strikes that pillar, and just with his fist. And what happens now? Next, you can see. Yes, Mataji, one more. Samprabha Mataji. Srila Mataji, would you like to read? Srila Mataji, please unmute.
Ji Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
To prove that the statement of his servant Prahlada Maharaj was substantial, in other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere.
Hare Krishna Mataji, if you start first paragraph, the list, then from the beginning. Is it visible?
Ji Prabhuji, actually,
No problem.
I my skin, that's why that's got invisible.
No problem.
I'm so sorry.
No problem. Yes.
Then from within the pillar came a fearful sound, which appeared to crack the covering of the universe. Oh, my dear Yudhishthira, the sound reached even the abodes of the demigods like Lord Brahma. And when the demigods heard it, they thought, oh, now our planets are being destroyed. To prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial, in other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, Even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. The form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus the Lord appeared in his wonderful form in the assembly that hour.
So as he struck the column or the pillar, and the pillar is, mind you, at the threshold of the palace. It is neither inside nor outside, because that was a blessing of benediction he had received from Brahma, Lord Brahma, that he will not die inside or outside. But threshold was not mentioned. So threshold was the place where this column is located, and he struck. There was such a thunderous, loud sound that even there was the vibrations went right up to the heavenly planets, and everybody was scared in all the demigods. So but now, just to prove Lord is so merciful that whatever his devotee says, Lord is Achyuta. He is infallible. He protects all his devotees. He always is there to help devotees. You know, Lord took the role of charioteer. Why he was charioteer to Arjuna? Because he loves his devotee. He wants to protect his devotee. So same thing, but Supreme Personality of Godhead becoming charioteer, just imagine. And the Arjuna says that, take my chariot to the middle of the battlefield. I want to have a look at both sides of army. And Lord obeyed. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just see how merciful and loving he is to his devotees. So that is what is happening here. Lord kept the promise of, the Prahlad Maharaj, that he is present in the pillar. So he appeared in the pillar, and half man, half lion. Such huge, fearful, figure that everybody was scared to see that. And even the demigods they were shaken listening that sound. So what happens then when he appears in this form? Prahlad Maharaj immediately starts praying with folded hands before him, and nobody had seen this kind of form before. A person or animal, neither animal nor a human being. And so everybody was scared seeing this form. So what does this happen here? You can see here the pillar is, the column is broken. Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Lord. And this Hiranyakashipu, now he is very much worried. What kind of Lord has come out from this breakage of pillar? And you can see that like he has got so many, all Brahma's Astra and Sudarshan Chakra, everything is in here. What Lord Krishna and what Lord Vishnu bears in his hands. Everything is here. Then there is a fight ensues between the two, Hiranyakashipu and because he was still, though he was wonderstruck, but he could not believe that his Lord Vishnu come before him, and before Lord Vishnu. So he was looking for an opportunity to kill Vishnu. So he starts fighting. Just imagine Lord himself incarnate in the form of Narsimha Bhagwan, and with such a fearful, figure. Everybody was awestruck and everybody was praying, but Hiranyakashipu, out of those 6 enemies within his mind, he started fighting. The fight started. Then ultimately what happens, you can see before that the Lord is so merciful and he is kind to his even demigods. Brahmaji had given so many boons of benedictions to, we remember 6 points those, that neither inside nor day outside. So they are at the threshold. Neither day or nor night. It is twilight time. That is time just at the time of before sunsets. So that is kept. Neither man or nor animal. So he is neither man nor animal. Neither any weapons or hands. So he did not use Lord Vishnu or Narsimha. Lord Narsimha did not use either hand nor any weapon. And he killed Hiranyakashipu with the nails or the claws of his hand, which was not mentioned by Lord Brahma. So, and he kills and even tears him off abdomen, takes out his intestine, puts them as garland around his neck, drink some of his blood, and he is in a very fearful mood. And this person, Hiranyakashipu, now leaves his body. And you can see all the demons who were present, they also tried to have an encounter with, though despite they had seen that Hiranyakashipu, the strongest of them, the most powerful king, had already died, still they wanted to have a struggle, a fight with Narsimha, Lord Narsimha. And ultimately what happens? Everybody gets killed. Now what happens when Lord himself kills somebody? Or somebody has a vision of Lord? What happens to him? Anyone?
They're liberated.
He is liberated from
Yes.
all the bondage.
Thank you, Mataji. They are liberated. What kind of, five types of liberations are there? Anybody does remember from level 1? Anyone? Any idea?
Salokya, Sayujya,
Yes. Very nice.
and then Sanidhya, Swarupa, and one more
Sarishti.
Sarisht. Yes.
So there are 5 kinds of liberation. When Lord, kills somebody, in the battle of Mahabharat, what happened? In the Kurukshetra, all the Kauravas also got liberated because they had a darshan of Lord Krishna before them. And some were killed by him. He did not kill anybody, in fact. As a matter of fact, he had promised to Arjuna and Yudhishthira that he will not take up any weapon in the battlefield. Remember? Except one time, when did he take up a weapon? It was not a weapon as such. Anyone? Does anybody?
When Bhishmadev came.
Yes, Mataji. What did he pick up at that time?
Wheel of the chariot.
Wheel of the chariot. So
he took out the wheel of the chariot, I think.
Yes,
Am I right,
yes.
Prabhuji?
Yes, that is perfectly correct, Mataji. Thank you. So only one time he did so. So he also kept the promise there that he will not fight from either side. He will be there with Pandavas, of course, but he will not use it. So you see, there are 5 types of liberation or mukti that you mentioned, Mataji. Sayujya mukti means one merges into Lord himself. So all these, Hiranyakashipu, and they all merge into the Lord, because all Kauravas also, all Kauravas who died in the battlefield between the battle between the Kurus and Pandavas, they also got a liberation in the form of Sayuj Mukti. Second is Samipi Mukti, and as Mataji told, Samipi means they are close to in the same planet as Lord himself, they are close to the Lord. Third is Sarishti Mukti. Sarishti Mukti means the same opulences as possessed by the Lord. What are the opulences that Lord has? 6 opulences. Anyone remembers from Bhagavad Gita? Okay. All beauty, all knowledge, all strength, all renunciation, all wealth, and all knowledge, renunciation, wealth, and strength. So these are 6 opulences. So one who gets Sarishti, he gets them in small quantity, quality-wise same, but the quantity is very minute type or a small fraction only. So Samipya, Sarishti, Salok, they reside in the same lok as the Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna resides. So these are 5 types: Samipya, Sarup, Samipya, Sarupya. Sarupya means yes, the same bodily features as Lord Krishna has got. So that means, and who are, does anybody remember from the scriptures Sarupya form of, devotees who were there in the Bhagavad Gita, were shown in the Bhagavad Gita or even Srimad Bhagavatam? Sarupya means same bodily features, and Lord in the Vishnu form has got 4 arms. Na? So Vishnu Dutas, when they came to Ajamila, we have seen that slide earlier, that they had 4 arms. Vishnu Duta has 4 arms because they have got him liberation, which is called Sarupya Mukti. So these are 5 forms of mukti, and all these persons who were killed by Lord or who had just a vision of Lord, darshan of Lord in the battlefield, they all got Sayuj type of mukti. Yes, Srila Mataji, please continue.
The great saint Narad Muni continued. The demigods headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and other great demigods dared not come forward before the Lord, who at that time was extremely angry. Thereafter, Lord Brahma requested Prahlad Maharaj, who was standing very near him, "My dear son, Lord Narsimha is extremely angry at your demonic father. Please go forward and appease the god, appease the Lord." Narad Muni continued, "O king, although the exalted devotee Prahlad Maharaj was only a little boy, he accepted Lord Brahma's words. He gradually proceeded towards Lord Narsimhadev and fell down to offer his respectful obeisance with folded hands."
So you can see that Narsingh Avatar in that form, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna was so furious and angry, and it was so frightful to have a look at him that even demigods, including Lord Brahma and Shiva, they did not dare come before him, because they also worship Lord Krishna, Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead. Instead, Brahmaji requested Prahlad Maharaj, please, with folded hands, pray to Narsimha Bhagwan that he should get pacified now, because Hiranyakashipu is no more and he has already liberated. So they just imagine, Prahlad Maharaj was a young, small boy only at that time. But he was not frightened looking at this form of Lord Krishna. He was still praying, and he was still begging him pardon for his father, that please forgive him for his ignorance. So just see the opposite. Father wanted to kill the son, and the son is praying to Lord that please spare his life. What kind of great soul Prahlad Maharaj was, and that even Brahmaji and Shiva are also praying to Prahlad Maharaj. So we have to be as humble, as polite, and as devoted to Lord Krishna as possible, because this is the ultimate knowledge. This is the transcendental knowledge which he had received from Narad Muni. So you can see everybody starts now praying, and all those people, those are killed, are lying there. Some are so frightened to see this form of Lord, and some are just praying. Some have fallen down, paying their obeisances. But Prahlad Maharaj, you can see in the middle, on the instructions, on the request of demigods. These are demigods standing here. Prahlad Maharaj is now moving to Narsimha, Lord Narsimha, that please forgive them. Please come to your original form. We just pray you to get pacified. So Prahlad Maharaj gets, is taken up by Narsimha Bhagwan in his lap, and he is loving, like a loving father, he is in his lap. And just imagine the contrast. Hiranyakashipu, that our real father, our real father is of course Krishna. We are part and parcel. So the Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill his own son, and Narsimha Bhagwan is so protective to his devotee. So my request and suggestion is that whenever we are in difficulty in material world, we are most of the times, let us remember Narsimha Bhagwan, and pray with our sincere heart to him to protect us, to give us shelter, to give us. And so there is you can, on the net, you can search Narsimha Kavach, and one can get take out a print, and please read it daily before when you start at the time of your prayers in the morning, or even whatever you're doing. It will provide you strength, and it will also provide you protection against all kind of harms and insults or injuries or anything. So some people keep it, the image of Narsimha Bhagwan in their car, at their home place or workplace. So Narsimha Bhagwan is very, very kind to his devotee, and he always protects against all kind of hurt or injuries or bad things. So Narsimha now is specified, is instructing Prahlad Maharaj in this picture, and you can see everybody, all demigods are now, when he is pacified, as requested by Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, now he is quiet and everybody is standing behind. You can see this is very important point in this picture. And only Prahlad Maharaj has the courage to stand and pray to Narsimha Bhagwan. And he has placed a wreath on the garland in the neck of around the neck of Narsimha Bhagwan, and all demigods are praying to Narsimha Bhagwan. So we shall stop here. What is it? 8:10. We are already always exceeding time, so we'll stop here. Any questions regarding this presentation till now? Pankaj Prabhu, you didn't read today. Pankaj Dubey Prabhu. We want the participation of each and every one of you. Please do.
Sir, actually, I am in traveling.
Oh, Hare Krishna. Radha
Krishna.
Mataji, I request you to also get actively involved. And Khushbu Jha Mataji, you didn't give us opportunity to.
I'm here. I'm doing some work, so I just keep phone and then
Okay,
just
okay,
listen.
Mataji. Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much. So, is there any question or any doubt or correction or suggestion, Mataji? You are welcome. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I would like to know what was the actual devotion of Bhakta Prahlad, because he was child actually. He was very young, but he was fully devoted, and I'm literally surprised, and I want to know how this kind of devotion came into this young child. He's a
Very
much
nice,
younger,
very
very, very
nice
small
question,
child.
Mataji. First, let us define what is bhakti. What is, can all of you switch on your videos? We can, at least we can see each other and interact nicely. So let us think of what is bhakti. What is our concept of bhakti or devotion service? Anyone?
Raising soul above the body is bhakti.
Very nice. Any other idea? Anybody like to add? Beyond body is something beyond body, no doubt.
Prabhuji, I have already just before 2-3 days, I have told a story of a devotee, one of the devotee, Bhakt Amal. Primarily, he was not devotee of God, but later he became because of some certain incidents. And the one line in this story which really attracted me, that line is, his faith was not dependent on any material things or any wish which he wants to be fulfilled. His faith was so pious, or say his faith was independent. So this really a great thing when your faith is really totally independent, that you don't want anything and still you're loving God. And that thing is very that's intent is actually very great. And actually we all want something. When we are praying, we are asking God, please fulfill our this desire, those things. But his faith was totally independent.
Yes, Mate, thank you. Very nice elaboration. Anyone else?
To do everything in the service of the Lord.
Very nice. That is the essence, in fact. And who was doing it in the scriptures? Who is the perfect example of who is doing everything in the all senses in the service of Lord? Atma Nivedanam. We call it Atma Nivedan. Ambrish
Bali
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Ambrish Maharaj, Mataji. So when simple, very simple definition to understand is, then we use all our senses in the service of Lord, that is bhakti. All our senses, we know we have got 10 senses, basically, sense organs of knowledge, sense organs of action, sense organs of perception. So these are 15 rather senses. All Ambrish Maharaj used to have all kind of Navada Bhakti used to practice. That was he was Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Vismaranam, Pad Sevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, then Sakhyam, Dasam, and Atma Nivedanam. So he was a king, He was cleaning the utensils of the temple. He was sweeping the floor he was decorating. He was listening to spiritual masters in the temple. He was doing kirtanam. He was doing worship himself. So Ambrish Maharaj is the perfect example. He is the example of Atmanivednam. So involving all senses or in the transcendental service of Supreme Personality of Godhead and serving Him, listening Him all the time, praying to Him, preparing bhogam, cleaning the temple, temple or your this altar, your puja, preparing prasadam for Him lovingly. Or when we use all our senses in this service of Lord, then this is called a state of bhakti. And when there is bhakti, there is no material desire, because God is loving Father. He will provide us without asking. Animals do not ask, birds do not ask for anything. They don't pray, but God gives them everything. But even a small ant has no developed consciousness to ask for anything. But God is so kind that He fulfills. So why we should ask for anything from God? So this is Bhakti, Mataji. So I think your answer is question is answered, Mataji.
Ji Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Whatever we do, let us, the golden sentence is always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Whether doing any work, let this vibrations of Krishna consciousness percolate in our consciousness, in our mind every time, whatever we are doing. Quietly, silently, subtle manner. And we are doing chanting, of course, chanting has to be loud. So that our ears also hear. Shravanam is most important. Any other question? If there is no question, we can close today's session. Hare Krishna. Attendance form has been uploaded in this chat box. Please fill the attendance, those who have not filled. Tomorrow we'll continue from here. I'm posting the attendance form again. Please fill the attendance form. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुव एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय. Srila Prabhupada की जय. Hare Krishna devotees, Prabhuji and Mataji, and thank you for your association and participation. Dandavat pranam to all of you. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Please fill the attendance form. I shall be ending the meeting, but the form will remain open once you have clicked. Thank you. Hare Krishna.